Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So, RFK Jr. today made his announcement for who his running mate is going to be, and it is not what a lot of people originally expected. Now, we kind of had the report for weeks that he was going to select this individual, Nicole Shanahan, to be his running mate, who is a far left, so-called self-described progressive attorney. That was going to be his running mate. Now, we did hear reports for a long time it could be somebody like a Tulsi Gabbard, even though it seems like she's lining up behind Donald Trump. We heard, oh, it's going to be Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback for the New York Jets, because RFK Jr.'s one right-wing position, similar to Rodgers, is that he is somewhat skeptical of the jab. And a lot of people expected him to kind of lean into that, and that's why he would go out there and pick him, and he was on the short list, but apparently not. He has selected Nicole Shanahan, who is very far left. A little bit easy on the eyes, but the positives stop there. She is somebody who has a track record of supporting very far left positions. There's alleged affairs between her and Elon Musk, and she is from San Francisco, which is why he made the announcement in Oakland for it. And she's somebody who talks about, oh, well, we got to rectify racial inequality, all these far left talking points, very much so an environmentalist, supports weak on crime policies, you name it. She is nowhere near the right wing. And while it is true that I don't think a whole lot of people care about RFK Jr.'s running mate, many people will never know who she is. The people that are on the fence between, let's say, Trump and RFK Jr., they're the ones that are paying attention to this kind of stuff if they're actually on the fence. And when you look at RFK Jr. and his policies, they are very much left-wing. You're not going to have a lot of conservatives back this ticket because you have somebody who is very much a liberal in RFK Jr., even though he's pretending to be more moderate, and then he selects somebody from the far left to be his running mate. I mean, when you look at this, just go through policy by policy. You look at the economic policies, you go through every single policy, the environmental policies. He supports banning fracking. He tweeted that just a few months ago. This isn't even a few years ago. He supported reparations in the past. He's gone on record expressing plenty of far left political positions. This guy is not going to really impact Trump in a negative way. He's not. And then you go out there and he's playing a video at his announcement speech talking about how there's this institutional racism because of food. He's one of these people that's saying food is racist, whatever. This is not a campaign that is going to take more votes away from Donald Trump than it is taking away from Biden. RFK Jr. was leaning on, trying to moderate his past, which was far left. He was touting his record opposing lockdowns, because that's his only remotely right-wing position, is that he's a liberal who is skeptical of the jab. That's pretty much it. Even though he's gone on record claiming that he is not against the jab, he's flip-flopped all around the place. He just opposes mandates. Okay, whatever. This is 2024. The people that have gotten it have already gotten it. The people who haven't gotten it are never going to get it. I'm proud to be in the latter category myself, but still, this notion that, you're going to run a campaign on that and steal voters away from Donald Trump, it's not exactly how it works. And even though there are conservatives, I'm included in that category, that believe that Trump should not have shielded the jab as much as he did, he still opposes mandates, which would basically be the same position that RFK Jr. would have, and RFK Jr. doesn't even have a chance. And there's so many other important issues that most Americans care about more, like immigration, like the economy. And RFK Jr. is somebody who is left-wing, at least on the economic position. He hasn't really, in terms of the border, he's saying it's a humanitarian crisis more so than it's a problem for our country. We need to get these people out of here. He's trying to spin it in a more liberal way, whatever. Either way you look at it, RFK Jr. is not somebody who's your friend. And I think a lot of people know it already, but if he's going to be running this campaign in an attempt to appeal to the left, he's going to take votes away from the historically unpopular Joe Biden. It's funny, we keep hearing about the Biden surge. He's surging, except his approval rating is lower than it was at the start of the month, and the polls still show Trump up by 2 points, which is basically what they showed Trump up at the beginning of the month. There is no surge. There is no State of the Union bump. Some state polls have been released that look slightly better for Biden, but Trump is still leading the aggregate in every single swing state. Some of the polling leads, like the 7-point Trump lead out of Nevada, it was never really that sustainable. But still, Biden's seeing a surge because he trails by 3 points in a state Republicans haven't won since 2004. Wow. Seriously? No. But when you look at the three-way race, you could see this here. Donald Trump leads by over 5 points when RFK Jr. is included, and he's not hitting the threshold to make the debate stage, so he'll be there in the race, but he's not going to be on the debate stage. He's polling below 15%. Donald Trump leads by 5.4. In the five-way race where there's more polls, for some reason Trump's lead is cut down, but he still leads by, 2 to 3 percentage points. He leads by more than he does in a two-way race. And you have 3 candidates on the ticket who are going to be taking more votes away from Joe Biden than they're going to be taking away from Donald Trump. And when you talk about the importance of the third-party candidates, the last election where we saw, let's even just say 5% or a little bit more than that go third party, it was 2016. Trump was able to win Michigan with 47% of the vote. Biden's got issues in Michigan. If he gets 47%, he's going to lose because Trump's already polling above his 2016 percentage point in the polls. Trump was going out there winning Pennsylvania with 48%, Georgia with just over 50%, Arizona with 48.1%. He actually expanded his percentage margin in 2020 in a lot of these states where you had less third-party candidates. But now because you add RFK Jr., who's likely going to be on the ballot, he claims he has enough signatures in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, you name it. And then on top of that, you add Jill Stein, who's going to, cater to the pro-Palestine crowd. You talk about Cornel West, who possibly could peel off some Black Bernie bros in places like Milwaukee, for example, places like Madison, Wisconsin. These people probably will eat into Biden's margin among these very far left voters who, otherwise would just be straight ticket Dem. That's going to help out Donald Trump when it's all said and done across the board. This is something that gives Trump a leg up. And now that RFK Jr. has picked somebody to be his running mate, who is very, very much a self-described progressive, there's no reason that any conservative could vote for RFK Jr. Any terminally online, DeSantis or bust people that were saying, oh, I'm going to be voting for RFK Jr., they're delusional and they're not representative of the average voter. But even then you have people, for example, like Steve Deese, who were on the fence between Trump or RFK Jr., they're coming out and saying, yeah, they're going to stick with Trump because RFK Jr. selected somebody as his running mate that is extremely far left. And you talk about voters on the fence. Those are what matter, and those are also the people who may be paying the most attention. And when they see something like this, it's yeah, maybe they're not going to be as likely to cast the ballot. Maybe more people are going to come home for Donald Trump. Either way, I don't think RFK Jr. at the end of the day is even going to get close to 10% of the popular vote. He might get, what Gary Johnson got, for example. He'll get 3 to 4%, but still that's crucial in a state like Arizona where Trump, even if you want to say his ceiling's low, his floor is high. If he gets 49% in Arizona, 48, 49% in Georgia, those states flip. Nevada likely flips if he gets 48% there. Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, you're running the table. Minnesota's in play at that point. Virginia typically doesn't vote third party that often, but still Virginia would enter the field of play. It would be closer to the 2016 margin, possibly lower than that, than, the 2020 race, for example, when Biden took the state by double digits. So when you look at the big picture, this helps out a lot. And when it comes down to even states like New York, where the Kennedy name runs strong, Trump, I don't believe, will win New York, but could he keep that margin surprisingly low, especially as Biden is not very popular there? Their governor is not very popular there. Yeah, I think that Biden could get in the, low to mid 50s in New York. I don't think Trump would win the state. He'd probably lose it by 10, but still, you talk about the down ballot effects. They definitely play out in a very, very positive manner. And people that vote third party at the top of the ticket down ballot, their options are a little bit more open as well. So you look at it and it's like, yeah, this is good news for Donald Trump altogether. RFK Jr., he's playing spoiler for Biden. I dislike RFK Jr. Nobody who's even remotely right-wing should be voting for this clown who is just propped up because his last name is Kennedy. That's really all there is to it. There's this weird obsession that a lot of Americans have with, Reagan, for example, despite the fact he hasn't been president in nearly 40 years. That's mainly a phenomenon on the right wing, but also Kennedy. He's seen as a hero by both the right and the left for some reason. A lot of that is revisionist history for one reason or another, but that's beside the point. When you look at it, JFK, one of the more overrated presidents of our time that we know, RFK Jr., he's a liberal. He's not a conservative. He's not even a moderate. He's been somebody on the far left who just believes that, maybe we shouldn't mandate the jab. That's what he believes. And that's not sufficient enough. We are voting for Donald Trump. We are voting for somebody with a proven record who can go out there, revitalize the American dream, save our economy, secure our border, you name it. That's what we're going to do this fall. We got to defeat Joe Biden. We don't have time for this. This guy is for disaffected Biden voters who would never stomach Trump. He might peel some of them off, but that's his voter base. And as a result, his presence in the race is going to help Trump. The way we see it, every data point in every state and nationally proves it. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle out.